Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be looking at switch statements. So right here I have a start project created, and I just created an enum, and I have 10 cases, and I just assign them a raw value of whatever the case is. So 1, it has a string value of 1, 2, string value of 2, so on and so forth. So if I want to print out the raw value of each number, well, I can write if current number is equal to .1, print current number dot raw value, else if current number is equal to .2, and so on and so forth. And if we have 10 cases and we want to cover all of them, well, we're going to need a lot more else if statements, and all you end up with is this giant ugly looking else if statements here. So a much cleaner and a much better way to do this is to do a switch statement. So if we do switch, and then right here you're going to enter the value you want to switch through. So that's going to be our current number, and then we're going to provide a case. So we'll do .1, and then we can do print current number dot raw value, and then give it a default. Now the default is in case none of the cases are able to be met, so it gives us something to fall back on. So let's say we gave this a case of 11. Well, 11 is not in here, so it's going to go through all these and say, well, hey, you know what, I don't see where 11's at. So that's why we have to give it the default. So we'll print out, in case we give it a value that's not in our enum, we'll go ahead and print out value is not in range. And what's nice about this is that normally we would do case.to and then go ahead and print out the current value, the raw value, but that's kind of repetitive. So what we can actually do is just in this one case here, we can do .2, .3, .4, and then afterwards we have all cases covered. Let me go ahead and fix that. So we have all cases covered in this one nice and clean line. Okay, so if we go ahead and print this out, right down here in the bottom we get 10, and if we switch this to, let's say, 7, then we'll get a 7, and so on and so forth. Okay, perfect. So you may have noticed that Xcode is telling us here that the default will never be executed, and that's because we've covered all possible cases. In this enum, it goes from case 1 through 10, and the cases we covered are 1 through 10. But let's say we took out this 10. Let's say we weren't covering this. Now that little message will go away, and if we were to change this to want to print out 10, well, then it's going to look through here and say case 1, 2, 3. Okay, where's the 10? It's not here. I can't find it anywhere here, so I cannot execute this. So now I'm going to go over here to my default, and I'm going to print out that this value is not in range, which is what it just did right down here. So you can see that this looks a lot nicer, and while you can also do an if-else statement and do it all on one line, it's still not going to look as nice as this. So you can do if current number is equal to .1, or current number is equal to .2, or current number is equal to .3, and you keep going and so on and so forth, right? And then you'll do print current number dot raw value, and then you'll do print number not in range. And keep in mind, we're not even covering all the cases, so if we were to do this a couple more times, well, that's just covering 9 cases. Now we still need the 10th one, but you can see that this does not look as nice as this. So that's pretty much going to be a switch statement. It's making it a lot cleaner for other people to read. And another cool thing you could do is you can check for inclusion in an interval. So let's do let random number equal, let's do 60. And if we want to do this in an if-else statement, you can, but it still doesn't look as clean. So you can do like if 0 to 25 dot contains random number, and then you do print less than 20, else print greater than 25. And I made a mistake here, should be greater less than 25. And that's just one statement. If you were to do it where you want to cover a lot, let's say you want to do 0 through 10 and then 10 through 20, 20 to 30, it's just going to keep going on and on and on and on. So what we can do is do this in a switch statement. So we can just write here switch dot random number case 0 to 25, and we can print less than 25, and for default we can just do print greater than 25. And see here, we don't even have to do the parentheses dot contains and then go to the random number. It just looks a whole lot cleaner. And if someone else is reading this, we can do, okay, he's switching off the random number. This is the case he provided, and this is going to be what executes if this is true. So if we go ahead and run this, it's greater than 25. Alright, and that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you found this video useful and it helped you out. If it did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe for future content, and I'll see you in the next one.